Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and we have found ourselves a legendary caster on the ranked ladders, because ladies and gentlemen, in the top right of the map, playing in the color blue, it is Soldier himself. Now this guy, he has been doing incredibly well on YouTube, and it is very well deserved, of course, alright? Great player. And one of the best casters in the business, definitely in the top 3, gives guys like Lionheart a run for his money, most certainly. And yeah, always love seeing him play, but he is playing as the Ottomans. Oh, Soldier, what are you doing, man? I don't actually think I've seen him play Ottoman before, and he's going with a dock start here on Malaysia. So maybe not the typical Botto that we are used to seeing, but we won't know for certain until he puts down his deck. Interesting that he didn't go for a trading post right away, which is the standard opening, but maybe he's got something up his Trixie Dixie sleeve. And his opponent playing in the bottom left of the map in the color red as the Dutch. We have a very wholesome player. Now, I don't know, I can't remember this guy's true name because his username switches like every 38 minutes. So I'm just going to go with wholesome. All right. And we'll see how wholesome he is today, playing as the Dutch, of course, the best civ in the game. And that is not up for debate. But he does have an interesting, well, I mean, a pretty standard deck. He does have the core shipments, which make Dutch good, and he has a couple of water cards as well. Advanced artillery, let's go. And really the only thing out of the ordinary is the military reforms. Maybe he's going to go for the, what's it called? The logistician upgrade, and then maybe he's going to go for Age 2 Halbs, which I don't see those being particularly useful against Ottoman, but we'll have to see. Soldier going with schooners as his first card, which, boy, you don't see that every day. Already getting out fishing boats. These cost the full 100 wood, but that schooners, it is such a good card. It's a, what is it? Like, oh man. It's like a 60% discount to your fishing boats. It makes them 40 wood instead of 100, which is ridiculous, by the way. Considering how fast fishing boats gather, it is absolutely insane. And look at the train of yaks, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all that beef that is heading towards the Blue Town Center. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 yaks on the way. And I thought he gathered one as well earlier. Yeah, there it is. So 5 yaks at least, maybe more. And he's got a, ooh, I thought I saw a little Peskyville going down to the bottom. It's probably going to go on this water as well. He nearly has the wood for a second dock, and he is aging up with the quartermasters. So wood, all that wood every day, all day. And don't take that the wrong way. But let's see what Dutch is doing. Mr. Wholesome. He's going with the 3 vills. Aging up with the quartermaster as well. So no H2 Halbs, which is a smart play against Otto. And especially against someone like Soldier who knows his Dutch very well. I mean, this is a guy that plays a lot of Dutch. He is quite adept with Dutch. So he's going to know all of the tricky stuff. So maybe just playing to Dutch's meta standard strength is going to be how to defeat him. But again, I'm really interested to see what Soldier does with this early water economy. Maybe he goes for an FF, maybe for an FI. He does have the water cards, and he does have the cards for the good old Mosque Bombard Fusilier strategy. And as much as I hate it, I can't deny that with a good timing, it is a really, really tough build for the Dutch to defend against. Now, if you're going against like a mid-elo player, somebody who's a little bit slower with it, you can play a pretty adeptly as the Dutch. You basically just go for 1,000 wood, you spam out a ton of Reuters, and then you also get out like 3 or 4 culverins to deal with the bombards. And just the mass Reuter fire kind of deals with the Nizams fairly well, and it doesn't really give the bombards a good target, right? Because if you go for mass skirms, the bombards are going to be able to do a lot more damage. But yeah, going full rider, maybe even trying to sneak in a fort there just for extra defense or to give the bombards something to shoot at. It's success that I've had in a limited amount going up against Ottomans. But of course, I am at a far different elo bracket than these guys, but Wholesome getting up his second bank with his 400 wood. Maybe he saw Soldier's deck, maybe he saw the water. We'll have to take a look. Did he see Soldier's water play? He did not. No, he did. Okay, he has seen at least one dock here. So maybe knows that Soldier's going to be a bit more passive, and as such is going for a very, very greedy build. No military infrastructure, market just going down, and fourth bank is going to be up before the 6-minute mark. That is excellent eco timing for Wholesome. And Soldier going with a very standard build besides the water. We see a stable, we see a mosque, a couple of houses. Still no trading post, though. That actually, I don't know, is that a mistake not going with the trading post? He's going for early delis instead, which I like. It's going to give some nice pressure to Dutch here, seeing as he's only going to have Minutemen to try to counter. But Wholesome done a very good job creating a very tight circle with his base. These banks are going to block up a lot of the cav pathing, and I don't really see any villagers going down unless Wholesome has a moment of sloppiness. But looks like Soldier's going to follow up with 700 coin and go for the 5 cav semi-FF, maybe double that into an FI as well, of course. And he has the 5 Sipahi, he has the 6 Abus guns, the 2 Falconets, but I really do think he is going for something more H4 based before he really dives in. And I think that's probably a good choice. I think Otto is going to do better against Dutch in H4 than they will in H3. And now the Deli is just going to try to get some bell up time here for the Vills, which sometimes that is enough to make them worthwhile. Villager's going to be popping in and out. He wants to make sure to maximize his gathering time as much as possible, and he is going to slowly start killing at least one Deli. But the amount of bell time he's getting here is quite worthwhile. No Minutemen call, though, interestingly enough. And I wonder if that's because Wholesome is near the... No, he's going for the 8 pikes, and he's going to get an excellent snare here on at least one of the delis. And 2 are going to go down, along with the one that fell to town center fire. But you almost wonder, is forcing the 8 pikeman shipment enough to justify the cost of these 5 cab? And for a Soldier... Excuse me. And for Soldier, I think it was certainly worth it, but he is now getting up to H3, and he's going up with the Admiral of the Ocean Sea, which I don't even know what that gives you. I'm guessing it gives you like 2 galleys or something, but I have no clue. And sending 5 Yoriks as his next card. So yeah, this has been very, very strange from Soldier so far, and I really don't know how to feel about it. Another Deli gonna get caught by these pikemen, and I do like the aggression with the pikes, and I don't know, is Soldier going to pay for this placement of his stable? There is no town center fire to reinforce it, but the Bashi Bazooks are on the way, and the pikemen cannot stand up against these guys, so we'll have to see. One pikeman going to go down for sure, probably multiple, but he is going to pick up that Explorer on the way out. 45 XP is going to be an excellent choice for him. Now, as long as Wholesome is using Exiled Prince, which he is, the Age of Times are going to be fairly identical. Deli going to try to get at least one Vil before it goes down. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see, it's going to be close. Oh, not able to pick up that villager. And Karen is going to live to collect another Saiga? I'm just going to call him a gazelle. It's an Asian gazelle, ladies and gentlemen. Bashi Bazooks down to about 20 HP, but not enough for the Explorer, Olivier de Reuter, to pick off yet. And which is going to be tough because it's going to mean that those pikemen got to get up close and dirty, and they're not going to be able to come back and finish off that stable, which is what I think Wholesome really wants to do. 23 Vils for him, along with the 5 banks. Meanwhile, Soldier sitting at a healthy 42 Vils, though most of them are on water, but I don't see this water drying up anytime soon. There's still plenty of fish, and of course, the infinite whales. So... let's see, what did he get? He got some wood, and yes, the galley. So I'm guessing it's like 500 wood and a galley, which would make sense, because that's about, what is that, about 1,000 resources or so? But going to be getting up in Artillery Foundry as well, and look at this, the Red Lancers are already on their way out, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredibly quick by Wholesome. And there really is going to be no immediate counter to this. Artillery Foundry going down, and a great bit of timing here by Wholesome. These Lancers, oh, but no, now the Mubirs are on their way out. These are basically the Ottoman equivalent of spies, and they will chew these mercenaries to death. They have a 20, what is their bonus here? They have a 20 times bonus damage against mercenaries, meaning they do, what would that be, 50? No, that would be 100 damage a swing from these little guys. What are they wielding? Are they wielding daggers? Oh my god, these guys look for like, they look like enemies from the old school Prince of Persia games. And that poor envoy just being taken behind the tree and just spanked to death by those curved knives. Oh my god. But more Red Lancers coming out, and now 8 skirms, which 8 skirms will be able to deal with these guys very quickly. They are squishy, only 188 HP. And they're really not going to be good against anything but these Red Lancers. But these Red Lancers, they do have 7.25 speed against the 6.25 of the Mubirs. The Movies. So, as long as Wholesome micros well, he will not be caught. But Soldier continuing to power into this water economy. Looks like he is saving for a transition into H4. He has the food by a long shot, but he does not have nearly enough coin. And you wonder if he's going to be sending 1,000 coin as his next card. He's already sent 1,000 wood, but a villager going down there to the Red Lancer pressure. And even if he gets up to H4, he is going to take a severe bit of cost for it, because these Cav Archers, they're really not going to be enough, especially with the 8 reinforcing skirm. Maybe they can get a little bit of bonus damage in, but that stable is going to be going down most certainly. But oh, I forgot the Mubirs. They have the stealth ability. And let's see if they're able to get on the Red Lancers. It seems like they're not even going to attempt it. And is this stable going to go down? Does he have another one in the back somewhere? No, he's going to lose that one veteran Cav Archer he was trying to make. And the second Artillery Foundry going to go down. That's going to be a total of 700 lost wood in infrastructure so far for Soldier, which is not an insignificant thing to lose. And this composition of Cav Archers and Mubirs might be the weirdest composition I've seen Otto make in a while. And now the Sipahis are finally coming out, which, I mean, these many Red Lancers will do okay. But they're really not built to take on Sipahis head on. So we'll have to see what happens here. I wonder, is Wholesome going to eventually pull out? He's being very aggressive, and he knows what Ottoman is capable of in the Third Age. So we'll have to see what he does. He is continuing to make, what is he making? Oh my god, he's making armored pistoliers, but now the Sipahi come out with the veteran Cav Archer support and the Mubirs, and those skirmishers are going to be for breakfast. Meanwhile, the Red Lancers getting out while they still can. Are the Mubirs going to be able to trap them? Yes, they are! One is going to get punched to death, and the others look like they are going to escape. No, one more going to go down, but the armored pistoliers now getting involved, but these guys are mercenaries too, so you got to take out these Mubirs incredibly quickly, which is going to happen. And now the Red Lancers getting in on the veteran Cav Archers, and the Sipahis are going to have to run away, and just like that, the turns have tabled. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Wholesome. He still has the 5 banks, and he still has 33 Vil population, while Soldier is sitting at 51. So actually very even in terms of economy. Very strong army here from Dutch, a very unorthodox army. And Ottoman, he just really looks like he's trying to buy enough time to get into H4. He's stocking a ton of food, which you wonder what that's going to be for. You almost think maybe he's just going to try to trade a bunch of this in. Yeah, look at that. The market's going down now. I bet you a ton of food gets traded here. Come on. Let's see it, Soldier. Trade the food, go to H4. Trade the food, go to H4. Trade the food, go to H4. It's not happening. He's making more Cav Archers. Okay. Well, I mean, that is interesting. Maybe he's going to send 1,000 coin and try to do it more efficiently. No, sending 6 Abus guns? No, okay, there it is. He almost did it. He almost went with Abus guns, which against this many Red Lancers would be a mistake to say the least. 16 Red Lancers, 5 armored pistoliers, skirms, and Red Lancers continuing to be made, along with, what was that other unit he produced? I just saw him make something else. Maybe it was just the Red Lancers and the Skirms. No, he made a Priest. That's actually a really smart idea by Wholesome with this many high coin units. Just having something to heal that. And I mean, Priests are pretty cheap when you compare them to other healing units. So not bad at all. I mean, what are Priests? They're like 100 coin for Dutch. That's nothing. And I mean, the water economy for Soldier, I don't want to say it's starting to stagnate, but it's just not providing as much of a boost as it did in the early game. And but it does look like Soldier is going to now have the breathing room to go up to age 4, which you wonder, is Wholesome making a bit of a mistake here laying off the pressure? He won that fight against the Sipahi and the Moobies, but maybe being a bit too passive now, unless he's garnering for an age 4 transition of his own. Doesn't look like it. More armored pistoliers and infantry combat coming out as well. So going to buff up his skirmishers, maybe buff up those pistoliers. We'll have to see. Does it affect them? It doesn't seem to. No, it's not a mercenary upgrade. So just gonna upgrade the skirmishers, which you almost wonder, is that the card to send? I almost wonder if advanced artillery would have been better at that point, because then at least you could start taking out TCs. You could start harassing artillery foundries. Maybe you could take out a factory, because, I mean, Wholesome's not dumb. He's got to be thinking Soldier's going to age 4, right? You got to be thinking that if you're the Dutch player. Because what other thing would Ottoman be doing besides staying back and trying to get up to age 4? I mean, Soldier's got a second town center. He's not being aggressive. He's not pushing with Falcons. And the push is now coming from Wholesome. He's got 20 Red Lancers. He's got a handful of Skirms and the armored pistoliers. And this is going to be a very tough push to hold off. What does Soldier have? He still has Sipahis. He has plenty of Cav Archers. And he does have a stack of Abyss Gunners. So, I mean, it's fairly even in terms of armies. But I think those armored pistoliers are going to make all the difference. The fact that they kind of spread fire is going to be a really, really good ability. And it's just going to allow the skirmishers to pretty much stay unmaimed the entire time and just put down DPS. He's even made a couple of envoys as well, which is just fantastic. One town center going down, and these Red Lancers, I always forget, the Red Lancers, they have 34 siege attack, which is honestly kind of insane. And did that town center just resurrect? Is that a glitch? Yeah, that town center just came back into existence for a second and then decided to leave. Maybe just wanted everybody to know that it felt slighted. And now the veteran Cav Archers are getting involved, and look at all these Moobies getting into the fight with their little knives. Go on, Prince of Persia. But, I mean, their HP is so low, and the ranged fire is just going to take them out. Look at all those plus 14s. Sipahi's going down now as well, though a couple of them are still alive, doing decent damage. Red Lancers are getting involved, more skirmishers coming in to reinforce, but of course, now Soldier has access to H4 shipments, sending 12 Abyss Guns as his next card and making more Moobies as we speak, but there are still plenty of Red Lancers on the field. These guys are absolutely insane. 732 HP. They are like mini Sipahis, but in far greater number. And there is no amount of Moobies that can save Soldier now. And it looks like that stable is going to be going down. Moobies going to continue to come out, but I really don't think it's going to do anything. And these guys, I mean, they're 110 coin. They're not cheap. So to produce all these, Soldier has had to make a heavy resource investment. Town center is going to be going down now. Looks like 6 Sipahis are on the way. Abyss Gunners are now under pressure from the Red Lancers, but with this many Red Lancers on the field, even 6 Sipahis, it's not going to be that effective. And just like that, Soldier calls the game. Dutch taking a very interesting win over Ottoman. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe Wholesome was actually waiting for the perfect time to push, because when he went in, I mean, Soldier was just reaching age 4, so there was no chance of him trying to pull back and use those resources. And yeah, just a really interesting composition. I love the armored pistoliers with the veteran skirms and then the Red Lancers as a block. I think that was such a fun, cool age 3 build, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let's take a look at this game in a little more detail. Follow me to the post game. All right, folks, here we are in the post game, and a slight resource advantage for Wholesome. Of course, very, very heavy advantage in coin. Military, very even, though the kills speak for themselves. 140 kills for Dutch and only 47 for Soldier. And can you believe it? The most made unit was the Moobies. Only in a Soldier game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Villager count's actually not that bad. I mean, we saw a couple of raids there, and then we saw, oh my god, at the end, 58 down to 27. Oh, dear Jehoshaphat. That was devastating. Now I know why Soldier resigned. I thought it was because he lost the fight. No, it's because he lost half of his eco. Oh, man. But, hey, that was interesting. I thought we were just going to get a very blasé Otto versus Dutch, Reuters, Skirms, Sipahi, Falconet, Janissaries, and we got almost none of those things. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back with another couple of games next week. But until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.